I mean, you've got markets priced for perfection, right? Very optimistic about inflation, that pressures will moderate, supply chain kinks as well as part of that. Maybe a little bit too optimistic on Omicron as well. And then there's the issue of the Fed. Three dots on the plot, three hikes. That's already in the market. I know you agree on that. But do you think the market is more worried about growth than inflation? The Fed's calling 4% growth next year. That doesn't sound too bad.
Look, I think it's good. There's plenty of, if we think about this from a kind of cash to sales basis, there's just plenty of liquidity in the market still, given everything that was created to fund this next stage, the execution of fiscal policy and of corporate spending. And look, we have high hopes for CapEx for next year. We're seeing early signs of this. But this should be a year where we're seeing better continuation of buybacks, a look at capital expenditures with all of these very good balance sheets to improve earnings in the future, and M&A as well. It looks like, and you've talked about it earlier in the program, but this is something that we should continue to see more of too. And don't forget, there's a tremendous, I can't even emphasize enough how much private equity money is on the sidelines waiting for opportunities across the board as well. So I think that there's just so much there to support further growth in equities going forward.
Okay, doesn't this all hinge on inflation and price pressures moderating, though, the ability of companies to continue passing through higher costs to the consumer, maintaining, if not increasing margins? Because, I mean, if that part does start to suffer, right, it's going to impinge upon their ability to sink money into CapEx, into buying back shares, into throwing out divs, and as well buying other companies, M&A.
Yes, but also doesn't that just put a cap on prices itself? It's hard to have that story without talking ourselves in circles almost, because we've had this price adjustment higher. I'm not arguing that prices are going to go down anytime soon. We might see some quicker disinflation just because we've got just a tremendous supply chain issues that will start to ease. There are two kind of semi-related parts of this where companies had the COVID supply chain issues with labor and manufacturing getting things out, and then you had the ship stuck off ports. Those are COVID related, but not really related to each other. What's happening now is companies are actually able to build up inventories as the shipping backlog gets unstuck. So I think that this is going to start to actually flow through to better supply chain going forward. And the biggest drivers of inflation, U.S. dollar importation of prices, plus energy and rents, they're not really related to consumer prices in the same way. In fact, a lot of them are taxes on consumer prices. So I just see this as a worry that is probably a bit overdone at this point.